Hello, hello, hello. Nobody's here yet, so I will wait until you get on and I will get everything together. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. Who forgot? Hello, Miss Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie, if you can hear me and see me. Hello, Julie. Hello, Michelle. Everybody's coming to my party. Can you see my sign over there? Best day ever? Yes? Goody. Julie can see and hear me. Okay. Anybody else? Everybody see me, hear me? Can you see my best day ever? Yeah, Michelle. Yes. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, good. Because I've been trying to keep it in this picture, but I can't keep it. So I just want you to remember this is going to be the best day ever, even if you can't see it. Okay? All right. Listen, I only have an hour. I said this to you last time, but today I really only have an hour. So we got a lot of stuff to do. So, what I want to do first and pretty quickly is I just want to read you something that I wrote because I think it applies to all of you. And it's written by John Kabat-Zinn. If you've never heard of him, he's a mindfulness teacher and he's been around for a long time. And I think he's got a lot of wise things to say. So, I just want to read you this. You guys can look at it, think about it for yourself. I'm thinking about it for all of you. So, so it's called the unfaithful yes. And the unfaithful yes is saying yes to more things than we can actually manage to be present for with integrity and ease of being is in effect, wait, let me say it again. Saying yes to more things than we can actually manage to be present for with integrity and ease of being is in effect saying no to all those things and people and places we have said yes to, including perhaps our own well being. Can you relate to that? And that's John Kabat-Zinn. And I wrote at the bottom, no is a complete sentence. And I'm sure somebody else must have said that, but I'm going to own it and say it's mine. Like a lot of you guys think that like when you want to say no to something, you have to like give a whole story about why you have to say no. And really, no is fine. So I just want you to think about that as we go on today because I want to spend most of the time coaching because basically I think everybody wants to be coached today and I want to be able to do as much coaching as possible. So within the context of coaching, I do want to talk about the concept of over desire. And I think because for most of you, it's a problem. And over desire just means that you want something a lot more than it's worthy of wanting. It could be sugar, it could be wine, it could be whatever it is. It could be Brussels sprouts. It really doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you want it more, especially when you're not hungry and it has no effect in terms of your physical hunger. You're doing it because it's a brain thing. And so what I put here is that using your prefrontal cortex to make decisions ahead of time is a great way to build a great relationship with yourself because really we're talking about having a great relationship with yourself. And over desire always comes from the brain. Over hunger, being hungry all the time, is not a brain problem, it's a mind body problem because of what you're putting in your mouth. And I'm not going to put as much emphasis on that today because I think most of you have a problem with over desire. And so I want to attend to that a little bit more, stating that over hunger is when you're hungry all the time for things, basically because your hormones are imbalanced. Basically meaning like your insulin levels or your hunger and fullness hormones, ghrelin and leptin, are imbalanced, and therefore there's a disconnection there. And so you feel hungry all the time, and that is usually caused by eating too often or eating the wrong kinds of foods. So if you want to address that today, when you want to be coached today, we can talk about that. But for most practical purposes, I want to talk to you more about over desire and also the idea of using your prefrontal cortex, which is the main importance of how you decrease your desire. It's by being able to use your prefrontal cortex because you're not an animal. You don't just have to use your primitive brain. And your primitive brain just loves everything easy. It loves it fast. It loves instant gratification. And it's like a toddler running around with a knife. Prefrontal cortex is the one that can save you. And so that's the one that we want to develop as much as possible. And that's what takes practice. And so the other thing that I put here too, the biggest cause of overdesire is caused by urges that are caused by your brain or your thoughts. And I know you all know that, but I also know that you all have a lot of urges. And one of the ways to really work with that, and I've talked to you about this in our sessions, but I really want to talk about it more today again, is the idea of using an urge worksheet for the next like week and a half or 2 weeks until we get on our next call. And I think what would be a fantastic thing for all of you to do, I don't care if you've done it before or not, if you're doing it right now, you don't have to do it. But it's like to be able to find 20 to 25 allowed urges that you've seen. And the way that you do a worksheet on this basically is you have a blank sheet of paper, and all you do, it's an allowed urges worksheet. This is your worksheet. You're making it. And you start with 1. And the way that you work it, and I've told you this before, but I'm going to keep saying it because I think because of where I see where you all are, being able to see your thoughts and see your managing thoughts is the most important thing you can do, because you need to practice those managing thoughts. And if you don't know exactly what those managing thoughts are all the time, then you can't practice them, because your primitive brain is very, very good at repeating itself if you have not noticed. So when you use this worksheet, whenever you have an urge to eat something, for Julie, we know it's going to be at night, right, Julie? And I know you've done a lot of this work, Julie, but I think to really concentrate on a worksheet all by itself will really help you with this. And so if it's, say that you're tired, you come home and you're tired and your little brain says you need something sweet. So that's the thought that creates the urge. I want something sweet. What is the thought that you use to manage it if you don't eat it? That's the second thing. So the first one is the unmanaged thought. And then you put the managed thought. And this would just be nighttime, whatever the cause was, whatever the circumstance was, or you saw cookies, whatever it was. The unmanaged thought, that looks so good. I need something sweet. Oh, I'm so tired. The managing thought is, sweetheart, if that's what you use, sweetheart, you're so much better off without it. Let's just go to sleep, if that's what you use. But I know you all have a little repertoire, but I want you to see it more clearly. Okay, so that's what I got for you today. And now we got a lot of coaching to do. And thank you, Julie. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring Paula up first, mainly because I haven't talked to her in eons. And I want to see what's going on with her, because I don't really even know. So I'm going to allow her to talk first. Okay. I can hear you and you can hear me now, Paula. I'm going to promote you to panel.
Hi.
Hi, I'm promoting you up. And I'm going to have to do something else. So just hang in here with me for a minute. Allow panelists to start their video. Okay, you should be able to start your video now.
Hold on.
Hold on. I'll hold on.
Start video. Where is that? Is it on the bottom?
Down at the bottom. Down at the bottom.
Yeah, I see.
To your left. It'll say
left.
stop video, start video.
It says mute, unmute, raise hand, chat. I see nothing with video yet.
Okay, well, I'm not going to put you on video then if I can't put you on video. Wait a minute.
You can.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Hold on. I got the wrong person here.
Oh, gosh.
I think so. I think that's what I did. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Hold on. Let me get you. Paula. Paula is permitted to talk. Paula is being promoted to panelist. And now, Paula, let me make sure that I can. There you are.
Finally.
Hi, good to see you.
You too.
Oh, you look gorgeous. Do you feel as good as you look?
No.
Oh, bummer. Okay, tell me what's up, because I really don't. I mean, I know a little bit, but I don't know very much. Michelle saying hi to you, Paula, in the chat section.
Hi.
Probably
Hi,
never talked.
Julie. Hi, Michelle. Who else is on the call?
We have Caroline
Okay, Caroline.
and we have Stephanie.
So what's going on with me?
Yes, please.
I feel like I need to go back to the basics.
Okay.
You know, I had been trying to do this meditation stuff and buying the books and just too much, right? Just too much things are distracting me from the outside. I'm allowing that to happen and I need to just go back to the basics. So today is a new day, a new start for me. I have gained 3 pounds over the last month. So I am very discouraged, but I'm also like very determined to figure this out. Like you have said to many of your clients, I feel like I'm a very capable, smart.
No, I've said that to you. I've said that to you.
And I'm frustrated with myself, which is not what I know I need to do. I need to just stay curious and persist in this.
Okay.
But I am disappointed in myself.
Okay. So why have you gained 3 pounds?
Because I have not been tracking.
Why?
I've gone back to.
Why are you not tracking?
I am allowing outside things to control me and my urges. And so my mother, my work, I'm kind of back to that mindset where everything else matters and I'm not concentrating on me.
Okay. And that's the email that you sent me a couple weeks ago too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And I know that. And then,
why aren't you? If you know that.
I must be getting something out of this, right? I must be getting something out of pleasing and serving others instead of myself. It is definitely a cycle I need to break out of. And so today is the day that I go back to making myself number one.
Okay. But why can't you do both? I mean, you're getting upset with yourself because you think that you're giving way too much to somebody else, is what I think I hear.
Well, not way too much. Just my focus is not inward on me. It's more on like physically, is the house taken care of? Is my mom taken care of? Did I get all my work done? Is there, I had a weird dream last night because I have this presentation that I'm giving this presentation and I wake up and all my teeth have fallen out in the dream. I mean, just my mind is all over the place and not, you know what I'm saying? It's like worrying about everything outside instead of what's internal to me.
Okay.
And I'm frustrated that I've gone this many months and spent this much money and I have not made progress in the last 3 months. But I wrote some things down that I wanted to ask you about real quick.
Okay.
So back to the basics for me is planning my food 24 hours in advance, moving regularly, putting myself and my health first, weighing in daily, looking at myself in the mirror, which I have avoided, and no flour and no sugar.
Okay. So those are the things that you want to do. So that's what you want in your A-line. Right? So what I'm going to show you though right now is that this is probably your T-line right now.
Yeah. I'm embarrassed. Yeah.
And when you think the thought that I've not made progress in the last 3 months, you are not reporting the news. You're just telling me something that you think about yourself. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Or
I hear you.
You think this is the news? You think this is
You're
a fact?
telling me I should think that I have made progress in the last 3 months?
I'm telling you, you can think anything you want to think. This is what has happened. This is
Exactly.
a fact.
Exactly.
You're making that mean you have not made progress in the last 3 months. How does that make you feel when you think it?
Embarrassed, disappointed.
Which is the biggest feeling, would you think, when you think I've not made progress in the last 3
Like
months?
I'm a failure.
So the feeling?
The feeling is
Is it
discouragement.
embarrassed?
Discouragement.
Discouraged. When you think the thought and you feel really discouraged, how discouraged do you feel? -10's the worst.
-9.
Okay. Where do you feel it?
In my heart.
In your chest? Like in your
Yeah.
chest? Yeah, yeah. Does it make you feel like, okay, so it's really strong. Let's just put it that way. So tell me what you do when you think that you've not made any progress in the last 3 months, or it could have been maybe you were thinking it a month ago and it was the last 2 months, or maybe it was, right? But in your mind, you got this thing running around that I'm not making any progress.
And I
since
get like a my action is to kind of just try to be more drastic, which is not the right answer. And then I can't do that. So then I get urges that I wouldn't necessarily have.
So be more drastic, meaning like what?
Like cutting back on my food,
Like
going restriction, getting way below a -2 on my hunger.
So not paying attention. Or paying or wanting yourself to be hungry.
Yeah.
I mean, like going hungry on purpose?
Yeah.
Or just not paying attention? Which is it?
It's a little of both. I consume myself with everything around me, so I don't really notice the hunger until it's too far gone. I'm able to be hungry. I've never been someone that you know how some people just have to eat when they're hungry. That I'm used to being hungry.
Yeah, but what we're talking, I was really used to being hungry too.
Yeah.
I really liked being hungry. I thought it was a really great thing because I thought it was a means that I was probably going to lose weight. Being the hungrier, the better, right? So like for you, when you say I'm used to being hungry, I'm not sure what you're saying. But what I'm saying to you is that you know that you want to take care of your body when it gets to a certain point, and you want to fill it up when it gets to a certain point. I don't think you're doing that. Are you doing that?
No.
Right. And the reason that you're probably not is because you think you have not made progress in the last 3 months, and you're so discouraged that you're doing weird things, drastic stuff that normally is not part of your program. It's not part of your protocol.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like you're creating, like you're saying, forget the protocol, throw that out the window because we got work to do. You have been terrible.
Yes.
So probably beating yourself up. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So is this familiar to you?
Yeah. It's an old cycle.
Right. And why do you think this old cycle is cropping up?
To teach me. To teach me.
To teach you something that you have been doing for a long, 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 long time.
Yeah, it's to teach me that, hey, you're going back to this old way that you think it's going to work this time, and oh, look, it's not, still doesn't work.
Yeah. So when you think the thought that I've not made progress in the last 3 months or 1 month or whatever, anytime you think that thought and it makes you feel discouraged, what happens in your A line is you make less progress
Mm-hmm.
based on
Yeah.
what you do, based on your
Yeah.
A line.
Less progress, and then I get kind of down and depressed.
Well, we can create a new model from that, right? Because what happens is that it's right. You just put you put gain 3 pounds, and we could do a whole thought download on what that creates for you. What it's not creating for you, which is what you're saying to me today's a new day.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's the best day ever.
It is.
According to my sign right here. Right. And so it's like, you can use this as evidence that you're a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep doing that if you want.
No.
But you have done that many, many times in your past, right? And with never a good result. But that's what you're trying to go back to, because you're thinking you're not making any progress with this. So before you can change your model, you've got to take a deep breath and just see where you're at, and then be compassionate about it. It's like, this is going to happen, Paula. I mean, it's just over years, this is still probably going to happen.
Okay.
Okay. It happens to me.
Okay.
Miss Perfection over here.
That's you.
So the only reason that my R line kind of stays where I want it to be is because I just bring myself back at some point.
Yes.
So I think for you, there's an opportunity for you to come back.
I think so too.
I do too. And you can't be punitive about it when you want to come back.
Okay.
Today's the best day. Now, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm it's my military background plus being German, I think.
Well, you know what? I would use your military background and being German to help you. There's a lot of positive things about that. I mean, you're acting like the sky is falling. Miss Chicken Little, she gained 3 pounds. The sky is falling.
Woo!
Believe you
I mean,
me,
that's why we haven't talked. That's why I haven't been engaged.
Let's put that in the A line too.
I don't know where to start. Yeah.
So that's part of your A line.
Yeah.
I just took it off, and your A line is stop communicating with Dr. Deb
Mm-hmm.
and stop communicating with the group.
Well, I tried a little bit last time, but it was a busy one.
You did. But what I'm saying is you're trying to avoid it.
Well, because I thought I could come back, right? I mean, this is the thought process.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, you can get this back. And then here we are, it's Monday. It's the first Monday, and I'm not. I'm like in the same terrible place that I was.
Right.
You know.
Except you're on this call talking to me,
mm-hmm.
and you're asking for help, and you're not going to continue to feel so discouraged and so mad at yourself that you keep your A line the same.
Right.
You know, so like, what's the most important thing? Like, I think like one of the things that I said today about creating an urge worksheet would be a very good thing for you to do. And your homework is to get 10 urges, allowed urges on that worksheet by the time we talk again on Thursday.
Okay.
So that means, and this is for everybody, so that means that when, let's say you come home from work and you're making dinner for your mom,
mm-hmm.
and whatever it is you're making that you're not eating,
mm-hmm.
that happens, right?
Right.
Okay, you might have an urge to go ahead and eat it, or have a bite, or have some because you're hungry, something.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so the thought is, oh man, I need something to eat right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what the thought is going to be, but it's going to be a thought that's going to create this desire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're aware and you can allow that, you see it, you allow it, and it's not so strong you can't manage it. Because I guarantee you, in these 3 months, you have still managed urges. I guarantee you have.
Oh, yes. I know I have. In
Oh,
fact,
you know you have, but we haven't made any progress. Of course not.
no. Yeah. Halloween candy. I did very well. Did
Okay,
very
so
well
that
around
would
that.
have been a perfect thing to put on your worksheet.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween candy is the circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
The thought was something about wanting to eat it. Oh, that looks good. I love candy. I don't know what your thought is about
Yeah.
why you would eat it.
I normally love Snickers.
I
Yeah.
love Snickers. There you go.
Yeah.
I love Snickers. And so why didn't you eat it?
Because I had decided ahead of time that the candy was going to be out at work. It was going to be everywhere. And I just would not partake. I made that choice, that commitment to myself. And I wanted to prove that I could do that.
Okay, so that's what you said to yourself. That's what you
Mm-hmm.
managed. It's like, sweetheart,
Mm-hmm.
we said we're not going to eat it, and we're just I'm going to honor my commitment.
Yeah.
That's number one. So that would be the first allowed urge on your worksheet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you start catching them, but you write them when you see them, or you remember them and write them down a little bit later, but you catch yourself.
Okay.
Because you're catching yourself for all the shit you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing is, I think would be really important just for the next week and a half until we get back on a Thursday call. It's like, I don't think you have to do everything all at one time. I think I would just start with your meals and just eat between the twos for like when we first started working, all we did was eat between the twos.
Right.
How about
I remember.
urge worksheet?
Yeah.
And eating between the twos.
Okay. So don't worry so much about, giving up sugar is not difficult anymore. And I hate to add that back in because it honestly just makes me hungrier. But I would like to have a little flour every now and then. So I thought I would just force myself to give it up, but maybe I need to concentrate on planning my food and eating between the twos and then doing the urge worksheet.
Just until Thursday. Just until our next call. Not for the rest of your life. Just like, let's just come back a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's just come back just a little bit. Miss Drill Sergeant, just calm down. Calm down. Let's just do the urge worksheet, 10 to 25, eat between the twos, and maybe, if you want to enjoy it, plan it. Plan it.
Okay.
24 hours in advance. Okay, so we got your A line.
Okay.
Okay, how does that, you think this is doable until Thursday when we talk?
You mean the next Thursday, the third Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that going to be the week before Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I know it's fine. I know it. I don't know exactly.
I think it's the week before Thanksgiving. Yeah.
I know it's fine in the calendar, so it's not
okay.
around. Okay. So for you, the main thing that I want you to think about is, how do you want to feel about this? How do you want to feel about doing this?
Just confident that I'm taking care of myself, just content.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you can feel confident?
I think if I do it, each day I do it, my confidence increases.
Okay. You can have confidence before you do it.
Okay.
You have to create it to do it.
Yeah.
right? You're saying, well, as soon as I give myself evidence that I can do this, then I'm going to start being nicer to myself.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying.
Right. And I'm saying
Yeah.
to you, you got to be nice now and you got to think something now. It's like, man, I think you deserve a lot of compassion for all of this. I don't think
Okay.
it's going to cause you to eat more.
Okay. Right.
So like, it's like, maybe it's like, all I have to do is 3 things.
Mm-hmm. And weigh each day, right?
No, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. It looks like you want to do it so bad. That face. You don't have to weigh yourself. I mean, but the scale's going to give you information. But I
Yeah.
think right now, I just think you want to bring yourself back in a kind, compassionate way. It's like, I just want to come back and do these 3 things. Can you? How does
Yes.
that feel? I'm just going to come back and do these 3 things.
Doable. How does it feel? I really don't have a word to describe it.
Is it a plus or a negative feeling? Positive or negative?
Well, it's not as drastic as I thought my actions would be initially when I got on the phone with you. And so I'm like, oh, it feels like maybe that's not enough.
Right. And so that's what you want to manage.
Okay.
It's because I think it is enough. Like, do you
Okay.
think you can do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, so that's the thing. It's like, what if you just like, you actually feel confident about doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Right. Right.
But you tell
That it's
yourself it's
doable.
not enough, so take the confidence away.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thought. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it's like, how do you bring yourself back? Well, you just bring yourself back and you just start. How do you start? You start at the next meal and you start paying attention to your body. That is the beginning.
That
That
is
is
the
like what I
beginning.
say on a million podcasts, a million times is just come back, start at the next meal, eat when you're hungry, and stop when you're full, and stop beating yourself up. The worst thing that's going to happen from this, the worst, is
The
you'll gain weight.
worst.
The worst is you'll gain weight.
Mm-hmm.
The best is that you might lose weight and you might feel a whole lot better.
Okay.
And then we can go to the next step.
So you're talking about, yeah, continuing to maintain that curiosity, because if the worst were happened, it's still, I'm just trying to figure out the best way for my body
I think
to
right
get.
now you're just trying to figure out how to bring yourself back.
Okay.
And you're going to have to come back more than just this time in your life. You will have to come back.
Okay.
And all you have to know is know that I can come back. That's all you have to do. It's like, I can come back. I can
Right.
always come back. I can always come back.
I know I can come back. I do know that.
Yeah. I don't know if you can follow every single goddamn rule you have, but I think you can
Yeah.
come back. You
Yeah.
can just let yourself come back and be curious and just start.
Okay.
I can start from here.
Yes.
And the result?
I gain knowledge.
And you start.
Yeah. And you start. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
All you want to do is start, right?
Okay.
Right. And you've
Yeah.
had such a crazy T line that you can't. You've been doing everything but.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's just like I can just start from here. And I can be curious. It'll just make you feel a little curious. And you can start looking at your urges and you can just start eating between the twos and you can just start calming yourself down a little bit. Calm yourself down.
Calm down.
That's going to be my word. That's going to be the word for everybody today. Just calm down. Calm the heck down.
Yes.
All right.
Calm down.
That's what I want you to do.
Okay.
You've got your model.
I do.
You've got the recording. Give yourself a big hug and be really proud of yourself, because it would be a lot easier to say, Sayonara.
The hell with
It's nice
this.
knowing
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And that's what you've done.
That's what I've done every time.
Of course. Except this time.
Right.
Because you're back.
Yeah. Thanks, Steph.
Congratulations. Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. Thank you, Miss Paula. That had to help everybody for sure. All right. Okay. You guys probably, I hope we get more people coached, but for sure I'm going to get one more person coached today. But I know, like with Paula, I know this happens to everybody, and I know it happens to me too. And so the only thing is like, how can you bring yourself back in the most gentle, most calm way? So I'm going to put Michelle on, and I think it's going to be kind of similar, but I think it'll be really helpful. And then that might be the last coaching today. But then we have not this Thursday, but next Thursday. And so the people I don't get to today, I'll get to then. And if you have specific emails with specific questions, ask me and I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, Michelle, I'm promoting you to panelist. Wait, first I'm going to allow you to talk. And then I'm going to promote you to panelist. Oh, wait, I just did Julie. Did I do?
No, I think you did me, Michelle.
Oh, goody. Okay, good. Well, let me get you the panelist. Okay, okay. No, I put Julie there. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Hold your horses. All right, back to you. Michelle can talk. And Michelle's coming to the panelist. Okie dokie, Michelle. And I'm probably going to have to, oh, you're there. Okay, good.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Did you relate to what Paula was talking about?
So much. So I have this huge aha that I have to say. So my issue, I'm still working on my fears around all my medical stuff that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And I noticed that Paula did the same thing I did. Like I was like, okay, I have this fear. I'm going to write a list of all the things I can do, all the actions I can put in my A-line to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
You know, I can.
That's what you sent me.
That's what I sent you. I can get a massage. I can talk to a friend. Like, I'm like, all these things I can do to soothe myself instead of eat, because eating used to be the go-to to like numb out or whatever. And I saw Paula do the same thing. She had this whole bunch of like really reasonable and smart actions that she could take. But I'm realizing that it's not about the A line. It's about the T line, because I can take all the action I want. But if I still think, you know, oh my gosh, I'm so, you know, I'm going to get sick and die, it's not going to help. Like, I need to work on the thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking the same thing with Paula. Like, she's got all these actions that she wants to do, but she's getting stuck because of the thought of not having progress. So it's becoming really super clear to me. And I'm a list maker and a problem solver.
You're very good at all of that too. Very good.
I can plan like a million ways to Sunday. And I realized that I can do that. It's fine to make a list of all that stuff. But what I really need to do is to like work on the thought, because if I don't work on the thought, I'm just going to continue in the same cycle. And I saw that, you know, that same exact thing. Like, okay, I can just plan and act my way out of this. Well, no, it's about the thought.
Right. And sometimes for you, sometimes it means staying in negative emotion
Mm-hmm.
and not eating.
Mm-hmm. Well, and letting the thought be, like, right now my emotions are negative, I'm afraid, or I'm whatever, and that's okay. My feelings are okay, even if they're negative, kind of. And I don't need to, but a lot of time working with you, you know, we would come up with these unintentional thought models. And before we'd even finish modeling it, I'm like, well, okay, I know what my new thought is. And you're like, well, wait a minute, let's just sit with the unintentional model and pick it apart and just like accept it, rather than be like, okay, reject it, move on, plan, move to the next thing.
Right. Resist it.
Right.
Just resist it.
Yeah. And I think that that's going to be a challenge. You know, it's going to be something I need to practice, just experiencing my negative feeling and just letting myself do it without starting down that action line of like, oh, this is what I need to do to feel better. It's like, well, right now, maybe I don't feel better, and that's okay. And it's okay to be upset, because all the feelings aren't positive ones in your life, you know? So anyway, I was like, while you were talking to Paula, I'm like, yes, that's me too. I totally relate to that. So
Yes, I think it's really, really common that we, like what we have done is we've used food to make us feel better. So the stronger the negative emotion, the more we want to do it. Right.
Mhm.
So for you, it's like you really, really learned how to manage your urges. Right.
Yep.
Except what happened is you got hit by something that is really hard for you to allow the feelings to come through.
Right.
Right. It's
Yeah.
not as easy to allow.
Right.
And
Well,
that's
it's something I've been avoiding. I mean, I knew I needed to get all this testing done, and I just been kind of avoiding it because I knew that I thought that I wasn't capable of managing all the stuff that comes with it. And I finally got to a point where I was able to deal with it. I was able to go to these appointments and get the testing done.
I want
And
to stop you for a minute.
yeah.
I don't think you managed that thought. I think that thought is still a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to handle it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I
I
still
think
feel
you
that
have
way.
that. I think you have that thought. I
Yeah.
think you went through the action,
Yeah.
but I think you have that thought that you don't know if you could handle it. And I think
That's true.
that's where I think you're at right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know this is where you were before you got the testing. So
Right.
it's the diagnosis.
Right.
And your thought prior to going was, I don't know if I can handle it. And how did you change that? What did you end up going? What do you think you went to?
I think my first thought was, I know I can't handle it. And then I went to, I don't know if I can handle it. So I do think I got to a point where I was willing to make the appointment and get the testing done,
Mm-hmm.
but I still don't know if I can handle it.
What can't you handle?
Just the add-ons and the what ifs. Like I can handle my day today. Today can be the best day ever. But I am having trouble handling, the what'll happen in the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the what ifs and the add-ons that we've talked about before. Like, okay, so I have this diagnosis. That's the fact. That's the circumstance. And I want to add on, okay, I'm going to become disabled. Okay, I'm going to, be on oxygen. Okay, I'm going to die young. Okay, my kids are going to suffer. Okay, I want to add all that stuff on. Mm-hmm. And at least now I can see that it's an add-on and not a fact.
Good.
But I think there's still some fear and uncertainty. And, one of my thoughts about this experience is that it's still really fresh. Like I just went and had all my testing done and I'm still in the process of completing some of the testing. And so it's like on my mind all the time. And one of my thoughts is that I want to be able to live my life on a daily basis without thinking about this all the time. And I believe that I'll be able to do that eventually, but I think maybe right now is hard to do that because I'm still in the process of like results are coming in and appointments are being made. And it's like right in my face. This is what I'm working on right now. So it's just right in the front of my mind. Whereas before I got my testing done, I was able to just ignore it. Which I don't know that was a healthy thing, but
I think that actually you made up. I remember doing models with you when you didn't know.
Right. And I think it's the same,
yeah.
I'm creating the same result when I didn't know and when I do
you're still thinking the same thought.
Yeah.
You really are, only now you know.
Yeah.
And so what are you making it mean now that you know? And I really think the way we start this model is we're going to actually start in the A line.
Okay.
I think it's a really good place to start.
Okay.
So you guys, when you're doing models, you can start anywhere in the model that you want. And since Michelle loves the A line.
I'm really good at the A's. I'm good at generating a list of the A's. I'm not always good at following through, but depends on what I put on my list.
What did Paula said something? Wait, I want to see what she said. Whatever happens, you and your family will get through it. You are not alone. This is my thought when I fear cancer is coming back.
Oh, thank you.
That's what she said. And I think it's a lovely thing to think. And I think for you, the most important thing I really believe for you right now is before you change your thinking,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see if we can create an A-line anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the deal. What's happening with storming and stuff, because you told me you were storming. Are you still storming?
Yes. No, I've had about 4 days without storming. So I had a little episode of like 3 or 4 days of storming, and then I've been able to kind of, get back to my protocol. So the last 4 or 5 days have been really good on my protocol.
How come?
I think there's a
There's a lot of people on this call that want to know.
Yeah. I think that part
Thank
of
you,
it
Ming.
was reaching out to you and telling you that I'd been storming, and just doing a lot of thinking about why I'd been storming. And I do believe that, I've said this before, that it used to be that I would storm without understanding why I was storming, but there was a feeling behind it and I had to dig for the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And now I am storming and I know the feeling behind it. And I said to myself like 10 days ago, like, what can I do to soothe myself? What can I do to soothe myself? Because I'm afraid, and no matter whether you know what the feeling is ahead of time or you don't, when you storm, you still have to deal with the feeling. And this is one of the huge things I've learned in this process, is dealing with the negative feeling has to be done, whether you storm or whether I storm or not. And if I storm, then I have to deal with all of the shit that comes with the storm. And I really would rather simplify my life and only deal with the negative emotion.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
getting really good at doing that. But
I hope everybody heard that, because let's look at, the circumstances, the diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Your thought is, because you said this is basically about where you came around on our last call.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you're saying right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? Okay. So I think the only thing, because you're sticking to your protocol, but I think you think you're doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sticking to your protocol, but you're thinking scary thoughts.
Yeah.
In your A-line.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think you think you should be thinking that.
Correct. I would like to get rid of those scary thoughts.
Okay. But like you just said, I don't know if I can do that right now, because I'm really going through the whole process right now. And like, what if it's okay to have, what if it's like what if it was okay?
Yeah.
Like, just because you think scary thoughts doesn't mean you're going to make anything happen. It just means you got a lot of stuff running up there.
Right. I mean, I guess that it's just really uncomfortable, and I'd rather not be dealing with the scary thoughts at all.
Well, you'd rather not be dealing with this.
Right. And my primitive brain, I mean, I remember thinking before I stormed one of those days, I was like, okay, I am trying so hard to soothe myself. I am trying so hard to work on this, and I can't think of anything else. And I am just going to have some ice cream. And I know that this is, not on my protocol. I mean, I went into it with my eyes wide open, and I just said, shit, I don't know what else to do. I've got to do something. And I think being so aware of that, when I wasn't as hard on myself after I had that storm or those couple of storms, because I really realized why I was doing it. And I was able to say to myself, it's okay. You tried. You did so many different things to try to feel better, and you just hit your wall, and you decided, I'm going to have some ice cream because that's worked in the past, And so I was able to be a lot more compassionate with myself about it and not be super angry. But I mean, I was disappointed. I was frustrated. I was like, oh, and then I kept doing it, which was frustrating.
I think you already have an intentional model.
Yeah.
I think you want me to help you stop thinking scary thoughts.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that the reality is that if I don't think the scary thoughts and embrace the scary thoughts and let myself, love on myself for having the scary thoughts, instead of being like, what's wrong with you? Just buck up. Then this is what I think is going to crop up again and again and cause storms. And 6 months from now, I'll be like, I don't know why I'm storming. I don't eat for emotional reasons anymore, but it's going to bite me in the butt if I don't just sit with these fears. So.
Because you will have other fears too, and you don't always have to resist them. It doesn't mean you won't change this model.
Right.
I think you're in the process of changing it
Yeah.
as we speak,
Yeah.
actually. Right. And so like, I want everybody to know this isn't for everybody. Like for sometimes it's like good to change your model. But for you, like you're learning how to stick to a protocol with negative emotion.
Yeah.
It's like, is that not what you want to learn?
Yeah, that is.
Like,
that is.
Are we going to say, I just never want to have negative emotion, so I never have to overeat again?
That would be good, but I don't think that's realistic.
So the
I know that's not realistic.
So the goal is to be able to feel negative emotion and take care of yourself anyway.
Yes.
And I think you're doing that.
Yeah, I think I am too. I mean, I'm doing all of I'm working on my, doing my protocol. I'm doing everything I can to take care of myself. I'm working with you. I'm making all my appointments. I'm doing everything that I can think of to take care of myself. I have a lot of actions in my action line, and I'm doing them, even though I am dealing with the fear. And so that's why I feel like I've made progress before I got my testing done. I would just I wasn't thinking about it. I was just like, fear is talking to the hand. I'm just going to get busy with other things. But I do think I need to address it and face it and work through it. And it may take me 6 months. I don't know. It's not going to take my whole life, because that's not how I want to live.
I just think for now, it's like, I think you are handling this.
Yeah. Yeah. I am. Yeah.
I'm handling what comes up when it comes up.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I am handling it. You're right. And that makes me feel confident.
I mean, I thought like when we were first in the beginning, I'm thinking you're not handling it, but you are. You had a thought before you got the diagnosis that you wouldn't be able to handle it. And actually what you're showing yourself is you are handling it. You just have fear.
You're right. I am handling
fear
it.
mean you weren't handling it.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is if you were in this line and you were storm eating every day, beating yourself up, not getting out of bed, screaming and yelling at everybody or whatever, that kind of an A line, you would prove that you're not handling it.
Yeah.
So you would get that R.
There are a few actions that I notice, like I'm just a little quieter. I don't, I do want to rest a little bit more. And I think that, but I don't think that, I think that's part of the process of healing and coping.
Of self-care?
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things we talked about this summer was when you say yes to things, even if they're fun things, you're saying no to other things. And I think right now I'm really trying to say yes to myself, yes to self-care, yes to the things that sound like, oh yeah, I want to go do that. I want coffee with Jennifer, or I want to watch my This Is Us TV show. It's a little quieter and a little more introspective, but it's definitely not self-destructive in any way. So you're right. I mean, I think you're right. I am. I'm handling it. I'm a badass. I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm afraid. And I think my work is in just accepting that fear and with self-compassion.
Wait. Just accepting the thoughts that are creating the fear. The fear is not coming from here.
Yeah.
It's just coming from your mind.
Yeah.
You just have to accept that you're thinking that right now and that it's creating fear.
Right.
And that when and if you're ready, you can change that.
Right.
And my guess is
I do have a lot of thoughts that are not negative. I mean, do have thoughts like, yes, I'm handling this, or, there's a lot of thoughts in there that are more neutral or positive about the circumstance. But I don't think I can force myself to go there. Like, I just have to be patient with myself and say, you have your thought. It's okay. As long as you know what your thought is and you realize that it's creating this feeling, that's okay.
So here's an intentional thought is I can take care of myself and still feel fear.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that would create in terms of feeling, but maybe compassion.
Yeah. I was going to say love. Like, I feel like I love myself and yeah.
I mean, you're already doing it. You just didn't create you just didn't see the model because you thought you were doing something wrong. because your result is you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
It goes
And
perfect.
handling it.
It goes
Right.
perfect with the thought.
Mm-hmm.
Handling it means handling the thoughts and the fears,
Mm-hmm.
not having them.
Right. Right.
Right. And I think when you thought you shouldn't have them, it was probably creating more storm eating.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to resist. And you can, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So does that help?
Yep. That definitely helps. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really beautiful work. You really did it on your own. You just didn't see it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's like, I think I put in your email, I think I said something to you like, if you can do this, you can do anything. If I
Yeah.
can feel this, and really it's a feeling. If you can handle
Mm-hmm.
the feelings, you can handle any feeling.
Right.
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 And a feeling really won't kill you.
Right.
And that's what you're afraid of. You're
Right.
afraid of the fear, not
Yeah.
afraid of this.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Really good work. I'll tell you,
Thank
what, who's ever
you.
been working with you has really done an excellent job.
She's
All right.
amazing.
All right, sweetheart. See you next time. I'll see you next.
All right.
And I would do the urge worksheet for sure.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
10 to 25.
Okay, great.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay. I have got maybe 6 minutes and I don't know. I'm going to bring on Stephanie, and I don't think I'm going to be able to talk very long, but I'm going to bring her on anyway. Miss Stephanie? At least I can see
Hello?
your face. You
Hi.
can you hit the video?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm gonna.
I see Paula. Oh, I think I did Paula. Wait a minute.
Hi, Paula.
I am really, that's so funny what I'm doing today. I put Paula on. Wait a minute. Stay there, Stephanie. You're coming up.
Okay.
Okay. You should be able to come up now.
Okay, so now I hit
Video.
start video.
There you are.
Yay! Oh, let me get better in the camera. There we go.
I see your beautiful face.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Okay. So we don't have a lot of time
Okay.
for this. Next time we'll be able to have more time. But I think what you were talking to me about is you're doing well on your protocol.
Yeah, I'm doing really well on the protocol. I even lost weight on the vacation, which is awesome. But here and another good thing is, so I've lost 17 pounds now, which is great. And I feel so much better for having lost that 17 pounds. Like even just this beginning stage, I have so much more to lose, but I've really been.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. For everybody that's listening to this call, you don't know how long this woman, Stephanie, has been wanting to lose any kind of weight. Okay. Just so everybody knows, like, this is a miracle in itself. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, why can't you just say that and not say, but I have so much more to lose? Is there any way you could just not use that?
Yes.
Or does it empower you? Or does it really empower you?
No, I would say it does not empower me, but
Why do you say that?
well, my next thing that I was going to say
Okay, thank you.
was but I've been able to really embrace the wonderful things that have come along with the loss of 17 pounds. I actually have. So that's for me a big step.
It's a huge, I mean, I am reveling in this step with you. And all I'm saying is you don't have to use a negative statement with it.
Okay.
You can just
'Cause I know
revel
I
in
do.
it.
Yeah. And it's fueled me in a way that I feel like, we talked so much about the negative spiral that I was in for so long. And I feel like, and we talked about, I'm going to get over the hump and I'm going to get in a positive spiral. And I feel like I'm in a really positive mode right now, but it all sounds really good and it is, but I have this one thought that just keeps kind of trying to derail me. And it's just this, when I allow myself a joy eat. So we had a date night and my husband and I went to like our favorite restaurant, and it was so good. And I was so happy because I had planned it, and I ate only as much as I really enjoyed, and I took the rest home. And I mean, it all went fine. But then the next day I'm like, oh, I really want those leftovers, and oh, that was so good, and I wish we could go to this place tonight. And my brain is just fighting me. It's just like, oh, come on, Stephanie, you don't have to plan those joy eats. It's fine. You got this, or you're good. You can have this food and you won't gain weight. Like, my brain just starts trying to totally take me off track, and that actually that worries me a lot.
Why does it worry you that your brain tells you that?
Your
brain
just
tells you all kinds of shit. So
I
what?
know it does. Oh, it
I mean,
does.
since when do you
don't-
listen to it?
Why do I listen to it? Well, I've been able to manage it,
Of course.
but I have fear, and that everything with Michelle was just so powerful. With Paula too. I mean, this was a really powerful day to listen. But just that she was saying, you can have the negative emotions and you can have the fears, but you persevere anyway, and you stay on protocol anyway. And they always say, courage doesn't mean you don't have fear. Courage means you stand up to the fear. That's really what courage is. So I feel like, yes, I have these fears, and they're very strong.
You have these thoughts. You just have these thoughts.
I have these
You
thoughts.
have these thoughts that have been there for a long time.
Yes.
And they have their own special neural pathways
Yeah.
that are like roller coasters in your brain. And it's
Yeah.
okay. And so, like, I'll bring you on the next call.
Okay.
But for this moment,
Yeah.
all I want to say to you is I want you to revel in where you are.
Okay.
And be okay with scary thoughts.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean anything. They're just scary thoughts.
Okay.
You're afraid that they're going to make you do something you don't want to do.
Yes.
But they're not. They're just scary thoughts.
Okay.
You've had zillions of scary thoughts since I've been
Oh, yeah.
working with you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what? You lost 17 pounds. You're a new woman. You manage your mind like nobody's business.
Okay.
And you still have scary thoughts.
Okay.
Welcome to the club.
Right. It's normal, right? I mean, everybody.
Well,
has-
I don't know. I don't know anybody that doesn't have them. I just know that for somebody who has been where you have been, where most of the people on this call have been for Xeons, to be able to create what you're creating now and creating new neural pathways like you're creating,
Yes.
revel in that, and don't be afraid of the thoughts.
Okay.
Don't be afraid of them. Like, oh, hello. Yeah, I know you think I'm going to gain all my weight back. I know,
Okay.
but I'm not. But thank you for sharing.
Okay.
And that's where I would start. And then when we talk next time, we'll talk about the art of a joy eat with you
Okay.
and how to play with it in your own head. And the other thing that I want to say before I get off the call with you and for everybody else is when you're having a joy eat, think about how you want to say it to yourself instead of allowing yourself. It sounds like you're talking to a child.
Okay.
I'm going to allow you to go outside today.
Okay.
It's like, I'm going to have a joy eat on whenever. Fine.
Okay.
I'm going to eat a joy eat.
Calm down.
I'm not going to allow myself.
Right. Just calm down. You're just having a joy eat. It's part of the program.
Calm down. And really to be able to have a joy eat and to enjoy every bite and be done with it.
Okay.
And I think it's great work for you.
Okay. Thank you.
I think it's great work for you. So you'll be the first on the call next time.
Okay.
All right. And for everybody, I'm just going to keep you on before I say goodbye. But for everybody, I want you to do the worksheet on the urges. And I already talked about it in the video. So if you forgot, and then what you'll do is you'll bring them back on our next call. So when whoever I talk to, we're going to talk about what's on that urge worksheet. Because I want you to see, because you can see on your urge worksheet, something that may make you want to eat. Oh, you're going out with your husband. Oh, that's a thought that creates an urge. How do you manage it? Write that thought down. Because that's the new thought that you're now practicing. The old thought is, oh, you know what we do here. That's just the old thought. Oh, yeah, listen, let me scare you to death. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
Okay, for everybody. All right, everybody. Stephanie, I'm so glad I got to see you. Third
Thank you.
Thursday of the month. See everybody there. I love all of you. Goodbye. As soon as I can say goodbye. Bye.